Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. So I got this Cricket Toho excavator here that I'm trying to fix up. I picked up a couple weeks ago. I took off the actual gas motor there that you see on here. It was only like a 5 or 6 horsepower that was on here. But I actually took that off and I was actually using my cordless drill to power it inside because I don't want to have the smell of gas and everything inside my garage here. And I started realizing that it works great off my drill, and why don't I just get like a cheap motor or something and try to make this thing like a 24 or a 36 volt electric excavator. So I picked up this from Amazon, where else? Chinese. But anyway, it's a 24 volt motor, which, yeah, it looks like it's used, but it's a 24 volt motor. A lot of people say they clock this thing out to 36 volts, and I think it's about 2750 RPM. It's got nice torque. It's made for like a scooter, but I'm hoping to see if it'll run off 24 volts. I mean, if it'll take 36, then I'll use 36. But just to give you an idea, like I said, my drill is nothing special, and if I was to hook up my drill or spin my drill like that, and I can lift it, I can lift up anything I want to do. You see I'm going right here. So I figured that since it works like that, I think the 22. But anyway, since I figure it works well with the drill and everything else, so like I said, I figured I would try a motor. So what happened here was I lost my lathe belt broke, so I couldn't really do anything lately. But this was just something I had laying around. It's just something I made up real quick. Again, I didn't have my lathe, so. But it's just basically, this is the adapter. This is 3/4. This is actually a little piece of aluminum. I just like put it on the grinder and just turn it down for my drill. But so basically what I need to do is I need to make an adapter from 3/4 here to whatever this reads. I'm not sure if that's like 8mm or whatever it is. I'll take a look at the shaft. I figure what I'll do is I'll make it so that I can, yeah, it's about a 1/2 inch, 47, 48. It's right around there. So I figure what I'll do is I'll make an adapter to go from this 3/4 to, I guess, 1/2, and I'll make it so that I'll make a hole, and I guess to thread it on there. I guess that would be the easiest way to do it. So where did I have my? I thought I had an Allen piece on it. Here it is. Grab this thing out of here if I can. Yeah, let me take this off. Yeah, it's just a. So this is 3/4 inside here. That's a 3/4. It's got a a set screw in it. So I'll just do a 3/4 adapter. I'll see about. I guess I could always put a what do you call it? I could always broach it and do whatever. But I'll make that go onto here, and then we'll mount it onto the motor itself. Now, as far as the mounting of the motor, let's see what we got here. So the way this was before was this was the plate where the engine sat on. It looks like it was done a few times because they seem like they drilled this out a few times. But basically this mounted onto the motor, and as you can see, it was really like nowhere. It was just holding on to the motor. It wasn't mounted anyway. So I'm going to make up some kind of bracket. I figure hopefully this will go in there. And again, I don't even know if this is going to work or not, but I guess I'll be able to tell after I hook it up. Now obviously I'm going to do so. This is actually wire tied over here. So if I cut that off, this would go flat. So I can mount this flat, the pump, and then this. And hopefully this will do it. I won't know until I unfortunately hook it up. But this sprocket will come off of here. We'll take off the sprocket. In fact, I'll do that now and see what's behind it. Grab a pair of pliers real quick or something. Yeah, this way. Yeah, great tool, right? All right. I might need to do something to hold that actually. Let me get a yeah. Let me get an open end wrench real quick. Ah, I got one right here. All right, let's see if we can do this. We can hold that on there. I don't know if it's a reverse thread. Yeah. No. All right, reverse thread. All right, so it's got a little little spot in it, a little notch. So I can either do one of two things. I was actually thinking of just making it the whole. Oh, okay, there's the spacer, so that's not going to do nothing. All right. So I guess I'll probably just put it on. I guess I could probably just see what that thread is, and I guess thread it on, right? Make something out. Well, let's start with a 3/4 inch bar, or let's start with it, making a 3/4. I actually got to make a few pins too, but for right now, we'll start, I guess, with the inside diameter. Let's see how long I can make this. In fact, I think this would probably even be the right length, I would imagine. Put this back on again. All right, let's get this back in here. Because this might be, like I said, this is probably how long it's going to be. Yeah, that coming out, that's probably good. Because I would imagine I'm probably going to mount it somewhere around there. I could probably make it a little bit longer. But like I said, the biggest thing is making that. Unless I just make something and weld that to it, but that would be stupid. All right, let's go to the lathe and let's see what we can muster up here. All right, so here we're at the lathe. I found a scrap piece of, I don't know actually what it is. It's not 4140, and I'll use it for now. I don't think it should be a big deal. I know you can work hard in it. I'm not sure what this is. I got a whole bunch of this stuff. It's got some kind of lead in it and stuff, and I mean, it cuts kind of nice, but it doesn't give you a nice finish when you're done. And I mean, it's easy to cut and everything else, but for the time being, I'll just use this. I do have some 4140 coming that I'll probably end up using, but for the time being, to see if this will work out, this should be fine. What I'm going to do is probably face off the end, you know, normal stuff, and then I'll turn this down. I'll put I'll drill the end. I'll put a center. I'll face this end down the 3/4, and you know, I'll go to the other side. I'll clean all this up. I'll switch it around and then see what I got to do for the other side. Figure out what the other side's going to be, or you know, what I plan on doing. I'll probably take off that spacer on the motor and just make it the whole shaft size. I guess I could put a hole in it. I'll figure it out when I get to that point. It shouldn't be a big deal. So, but anyway, I mean, I guess I could just slice off the, take it on the mill and just, you know, slice off the end too. But anyway, continue with this. It's an old guy, so it's a little loud. yeah, it's not too bad of a finish. I guess it's looks better than it's. Ooh, it's hot. Yeah, it's. I don't know why this stuff gets so hot. And if you see it, it's like a real fine dust. It almost looks like the way cast iron comes out in a way, but this is not cast iron. It's a mixture of lead, carbon, some other thing, but I know it can be work hard, and I don't know where I got it from. It was something on sale or something, but I'm going to actually let that cool down a little bit. It's probably going to give me a false reading, and I'm at like 88. I just got to get to 75. So, yeah. Ooh, that's really hot. I don't know why it's so hot. I wasn't really taking large cuts. Oh, sorry, you're looking at the wrong thing. And it's a little hot. I wasn't really taking any kind of large cuts. Cool it down a little bit. Yeah, it's going to give me a bit of false reading. All right, well, I will bring you guys back when I get something a little bit closer. Like I said, I'm just going to turn this side down to 3/4, and then I'll take it on the other side, and we'll measure that. We'll figure out the best way to do the other side, the other way. So I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably drill. Well, I can't make a hole in the center. Yeah, because otherwise, then unless I thread it on, but I don't want it. Unless maybe I thread it on, maybe drill a hole and pin it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right. Well, I will bring you back soon. All right. So what I did was I turned it down to it was like 3/4. I think 75. Let me see what it was. Yeah, it's like it's hard to read this. I guess it's just the 74, 75, and that's about the same thing that was in there. Really tight. So, yeah, but it will work. So, just a little on the tight side. Perfect. I like that. I really like that. And it's right to the edge there, so there should be no issues right there. So, like I said, what I'll probably do is I'll probably broach it, or I'll just take it on the mill when I'm all done. And I'll just put a, I'll put a line in there, and I'll put a little, boy, I can't think of the name right now. Keyway. I'll put a keyway, and I'll just put it on the mill and just put a little line on it for that. And I'll put a piece in there. I mean, it'll probably be fine. I can even just, if I really wanted to, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine either way. But all right, well, that part's done there. So what I'm going to do is flip it around and do the other side. But I think I'm going to call this on part 1. I'm probably going to do this in a couple parts. This took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take, but I'll get another video out within a day or so. I'm getting surgery at the end of the month, so trying to do what I can, trying to get everything ready, but I don't want to do too much where I'm like, hurting myself or doing something wrong. I just had to go for pre-admission testing today. It was a pain, so. But anyway, so I will either make this one video and come back, or I think I'll cut this right here and do part 1. So anyway, stay tuned for another video. I will see you soon, and we'll do the other side, and we'll figure out for the motor, and we'll get this thing going. I'm not a machinist, and I'm not the fastest. So, but anyway, thanks for watching, and like I said, part 2 will be out soon. Thanks again. Take care. Transfers. All right, so what I actually did was I took the piece around the other side. I thought I was done, but I wasn't. And then what I did was I just measured the inside of this, and what I think I just drilled a hole in here, so this fits in there. Maybe a little bit more I got to go in, but it's just right about there. But anyway, this does have a flat spot on it. So what I figure what I'll do is I'll put like maybe 1 or 2 set screws. I can put a set screw in there, and that should be fine. I can even draw a hole and pin it, but if you see it, it's got a flat spot on it. So I think I'm going to take advantage of the flat spot and do it like that. So I would say this piece is pretty much done. I mean, other than it, you know, maybe cleaning it up, but it looks fine. It's in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to drill a little bit more on the hole there, and then this way we'll see how that works out. All right. Let's put this guy in here. We don't need much, just a little bit. That should be good. Should be all we need. And then what we'll do is we'll take it over to the lathe. Alright, let's see. It's just, you know what? I think it might be that edge right there. I wonder if I could chamfer that edge a little bit. Actually, I think I have a tiny little, yeah, because it's definitely deep enough. It's just, it's that step there that it's having an issue with. There's like a little step where the screws go. So what I'll just do is, I don't know if I got a little tiny room for. You know, I could probably just go. You know, what size is that? Yeah, that's good right there. You know what? I gotta do just. I put this little guy in there. Just go in a little bit. I'll just go in a hair just so it goes past that spot right there. Sorry about that. Should just be right at the edge. That should be good. Wherever the relief for the threads were at is what happened. Yeah, that's perfect. That'll be awesome. Okay. Done. So, let's get it out of here. I thought I was done. There we go. Alright, so it is what it is. A little line there. Who cares? I'm not worried about that. Overall, it's pretty good. There's that side, and there's this side. So what I'll just do is we'll put it on the mill next, and we'll do a set screw for this side. No, this side. This side gets a set screw, and this side gets. Actually, we can. Well, no, I'll mill a little line for this set screw to go into. So that'll work out pretty good both ways. So let's see. I guess I'll end it right this video, and then we'll go to the next one, part 2. We'll finish this thing up. I'll get this ready in the mill, and we'll you know, get the motor mounted and finish up this job with the batteries and everything else, and hopefully it'll work out well. I also have another hydraulic cylinder coming in. Because it's another issue I got with that. People wanted too much money to do that. But anyway, we're going to end this part right here. And again, I will see you on the next one. And we will be at the lathe the next time on part 2. Or the milling machine. So, hope everybody's safe and well. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.